Reno travels all around the world. I hope you get inspired about what you see. Apostle of greatness, Reno is a master. Only one man against the whole world in large. Fighting with the monsters, poverty I can't stand.
Thank you for joining me on my masterclass. Now today we're talking about how to know the right money-making stock to buy every time. Now that's how to know the right money-making stock to buy every time. Not sometimes, every time. Now, how do we know this? You see, in the United States, the stock exchange is governed by the Securities and Exchange Commission. And they're very, very strict. They are very, very strict because one of the things that keeps America very strong is their strong financial backbone. And to have that, they need to have a trustworthy system, which is why the Securities and Exchange Commission is one of the most powerful bodies in America. Now, there's something called insider trading because America runs on freedom of information. As an insider in a company, you can't buy shares of that company based on information that you know, and you can't tell other people about that information and they buy shares without making that information public via a reporting to the Securities and Exchange Commission. It's to make sure that the transparency, the integrity of the system is protected. So a number of people have gone to jail for insider trading, including Martha Stewart, who went to jail in 2004 because of insider trading involving IMClone stocks. So what happens is that the Securities and Exchange Commission has put in place a kind of a fail-safe against that. It's called the Form 4. Now, what is the Form 4? The Form 4 is a Securities and Exchange Commission mandatory filing whereby insiders of a company, officers of a company, directors of a company, CEO, employees of a company, they have to file the Form 4 with the Securities and Exchange Commission. It's called a Statement of Changes in Beneficial Ownership. So what it means is that before they offload shares of a company in which they are a part of, where they work or they are officers, or they buy shares, they must file a Form 4. So that Form 4, when they file it, it's a public form. So it's within the public domain. You are allowed to know about it. It's because of the freedom of information, in the United States. Now, there is a certain guy, his name is Peter Lynch. Peter Lynch is the most successful investor ever. Bar none, he's more successful than Warren Buffett. Now, Warren Buffett is richer than Peter Lynch, but Peter Lynch is more successful when you go by his record. Now, if you had invested in Peter Lynch was giving an average of 29.2% return on his clients. An average of 29.2% return on your investment annually to his clients. So what that means is that if you had invested $100,000 with him, every year you will get back $29,200 on average. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, but on average you'll get $29,200. Now, Peter Lynch said something, and you can research it. Please don't take my word for it. He said, people only buy stock for one reason, because if they are insiders, he said insiders only buy stock for one reason, because they believe that the stock is going to rise. And they believe that the stock is going to rise because of something that they know. Now, they might sell stock for a variety of reasons. Maybe they have health challenges, or maybe it's not them. Maybe their parents or their children have health challenges, or maybe they have an emergency. Maybe their child wants to go to school, or maybe they want to buy a new house, or maybe like Elon Musk, they want to donate money to charity. They can sell for a variety of reasons. But he's saying that insiders, directors, employees, CEOs, CFOs, they only buy stock of the company that they are part of for only one reason. They believe that the stock is going to rise. So when you see them buying stock, then it's a green flag. When you see them buying a lot of stock, then it's a greener flag. Then when you see them buying millions of dollars worth of stock, then it is the greenest flag possible. And so you buy. Now that is a key indicator, and it's going to help you to know what stock to buy. Now this, I'm not just talking about stocks all around the world. I'm talking about 500 stocks. I'm talking about S&P 500 stocks. So these are the premier stocks, the creme de la creme of stocks. Now, how do you know about these stocks? There is a website called openinsider.com. That's openinsider.com. Don't worry, it's going to flash up on the screen. For my visually impaired viewers, the name of the website is openinsider.com. That's O for Oscar, P for pillow, E for echo, N for Nancy, I for India, N for Nancy, S for Sam, I for India, D for David, E for echo, R for Romeo, openinsider.com. Now you go to that site monitors SEC Form 4 filings in real time. So you don't want a site that's going to be, monitoring it like maybe a month from now. No, because this is a stock market. Things change in seconds, sometimes milliseconds. So this website, openinsider.com, it monitors SEC, Security and Exchange Commission Form 4 in real time. So if you go on that site, it's going to flash up on the screen. You're going to see the site now. You're going to see who among the insiders of a company is buying their own stock. And then that information, if you're smart, if you're intelligent, if you're wise, will help you buy the right kind of stock. So for instance, when you see Elon Musk buying huge amounts of Tesla stock, now that's a greenest flag. When you see Mark Zuckerberg buying huge amounts of Meta stock, that is a greenest flag. When you see Sergey Brin and Larry Page buying huge amounts of Google stock, that's a greenest flag. When you see Bill Gates buying huge amounts of Microsoft stock, that is a greenest flag. Buy, because you're going to make a lot of money. Peter Lynch said that is one of the biggest secrets to his success, his amazing success as an investor, that gives a 29.2 annual return on his money invested with him. So now, I want to give you an analogy. Now, look at this analogy. Imagine you're driving on the street, and then on this street there are 10 Chinese restaurants, and you're trying to make up your mind on which of the Chinese restaurants to go and eat, to go and dine in. And then when you drive in, you see one particular Chinese restaurant where there's a long line of Chinese people wanting to go in. Now, obviously, if you're going to choose a restaurant, you're going to choose that one. Why? Because these are Chinese people. It is Chinese food. And the people who are likely to know the best Chinese food are Chinese people. Now, let's put that analogy into what we're trying to talk about. Now, these are companies. These are companies. Now, the people, the insiders, they are the people who are best able to know when their stock is going to rise and when their stock is going to fall. So, if you see them lining up and buying their own stock in large amounts, then that's like Chinese people lining up and trying to enter a Chinese restaurant. Buy the stock. If you see them selling in large quantities, that's a red flag. Maybe you want to avoid that stock. So if you see them buying in large quantities, maybe it's a pharmaceutical company. I'm sure that means they know something about that company. Maybe they know that probably they are going to come up with a cure for HIV/AIDS, or for probably coronavirus, or for cancer. And so that's why they're doing it. You want to take their cue. Now, you might say to yourself, if you are in Tanzania, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, India, you might say to yourself, well, how does this concern me? I'm not an American. Hey, listen, as I've said before, there is no citizenship requirement for you to invest in the US stock market. There is no citizenship requirement. You, as a person from wherever you are, you can invest in US stocks. Unlike some certain countries, maybe your country, there are citizenship requirements for you to invest. In America, there's no citizenship requirement. So anybody can invest. And I've taught you guys before a variety of apps that you can use to invest. Trove, Bamboo, Chaka. Now, if you are anywhere in the world, one of the best apps that you can use is EToro. EToro allows you to invest in stocks, allows you to invest in cryptocurrency. So don't wait. I've given you this information. This is the right time to go to openinsider.com and begin to study, begin to index and know which stocks to buy. Now, my name is Renan Mokri. If you've watched this video and maybe I've talked too fast, or maybe my accent is funny, or maybe it's very difficult for you to understand what I'm saying, and you have questions arising from what I've taught you, put them in the comment section. My staff, God bless my staff. They're very, very good at curating comments. They're going to bring them to me, and I'll do my best to respond to your comments. Now, remember, I do not have a WhatsApp forum. I do not have a Telegram channel. I do not have a Gmail email address. Now, scammers have seen that my videos tend to go viral. And so they've created a number of fake YouTube profiles and they approach people in the comment sections of my videos and they tell them helpline, guideline, one-on-one mentoring. I will give you more information, helpful tips. Now, they've given those people a number of Gmail email addresses, WhatsApp numbers, Telegram channels, and they've duped a number of people. I'm the apostle for prosperity. Everything I do for free. Please be careful. I don't want you to be duped. I want you to prosper. Now, this is Renomokwe saying, God bless you.